Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day everyone. So for today's video, we're going to discuss the task that was given to us. But before that, let me introduce myself. I am Bajahan Yudin Lumenda from Bachelor of Science in Community Development, and we are the Group 5. So our topic for today is all about documentation, monitoring, and evaluation of Nstp community-based projects.
So when we say documentation here, it can serve as the purpose of providing proof of traceability or reference of something done.
Monitoring means keeping track of the flow of the program when it is currently taking place in order for you to be able to take appropriate action. If ever needed, it pertains to step-by-step process of supervising and checking the activities undertaken in a project to ascertain whether it is capable of achieving the planned results or not. Moreover, monitoring is a process that analyzes and explores the activities and progress of the project and also identifies the bottlenecks during the process.
The last one is evaluation. When we say evaluation, it pertains to finding out if you have achieved the effect or objectives or goals on your target population that you wanted to achieve after you have finished the implementation of the activities. It is also a scientific process that gauges the success and result of the project or program in meeting the objectives. So now, I would like you to inform our objectives. So for today's lesson, our objectives is to be able to identify the documents, monitoring, and evaluation instruments needed in measuring the success of Nstp community immersion projects. The second one is make use of the documentation technique, monitoring guides, and evaluation instruments to ensure meaningful program implementation of Nstp. And the last one is appreciate the values of having proper documentation, monitoring, and evaluation of the project for community service.
Everyone, I am Behana Yuncha Nstp from BSCD A1. In this video, I am going to discuss the monitoring of Nstp project. But first, what is monitoring of Nstp project? It is a result of monitoring a systematic and continuous procedure in checking programs and projects done during the Nstp community immersion, and it is also an awareness of a state of a project by a certain measures. It is an observation of several changes that occur over time. So, ang monitoring of Nstp project ay ito na yung resulta ng ginawa mong pag-o-observe sa isang program at proyekto during the Nstp community immersion. Ang halimbawa nito ay ang mga trainees na nag-o-observe sa mga participants kung marami ang pupunta sa kanilang isinagawang project. Let us proceed to the significance of the monitoring Nstp projects. The first significance of monitoring the Nstp project is whether the inputs are achieved on time as planned. So it means, dapat ang project na inyong isinagawa ay naaayon sa inyong mga pinlano. The second significance is whether the activities were conducted as scheduled. Sa second significance naman ay dapat ang inyong mga activity ay nakaayon sa schedule na inyong isinasagawa. At ang panghuling significance of monitoring Nstp project is whether the outputs were produced on time or outputs were in right quality and quality as specified on the project design. At ang huling significance ay dapat ang mga output na inyong ginagawa ay nasa oras at nasa tamang dami ng tinutukoy na sa design ng inyong proyekto. This topic is who will monitor Nstp project during the community immersion. So, sino nga ba ang mga taong involved o nagmo-monitor sa community immersion? So, ang mga taong involved sa community service project na isinasagawa ng mga trainees ay walang iba kundi ang mga trainees, trainers, at barangay officials at iba pa na may concern sa project na iyon. The tools needed for monitoring purposes. First is the journal or process recording. So, the journal or process recording is isa siyang record experience o idea na nagre-reflect sa regular at pribadong paggamit ng mga bagay. And the second one is the Gantt chart. Ang Gantt chart naman ay nilalarawan niya ang summary ng mga nasirang proyekto of elements. At ito din ang napaka-useful in terms of using the monitoring Nstp projects. At ang panghuli is the summary checklist. So, ang summary checklist ay dito nakasulat ang mga materials at mga taong involved sa proyektong iyon. Last topic is the list of Nstp forms required for documentation during the community immersion. For the trainees, they must submit the following. Waiver. So, ang waiver is kailangan ng mga trainee na mag-submit ng waiver dahil dito malalaman kung kasali ka ba talaga sa immersion na nagaganap. The second is the letter of the request to the barangay to conduct for immersion. Dito naman ay kailangan muna magbigay ng letter request sa inyong barangay chairman para na rin sa paggalang sa kanila at kung ikaw ba ay pwedeng mag-immersion doon. At ang pangatlo is the acceptance letters of the barangay. 4 is the community needs assessment. 5 is the memorandum of the agreement. 6 is the narrative report format. And for the trainers, same lang din sila sa mga documents na nilang ipasa.
So let us proceed to the evaluation of Nstp projects for community immersion. In every project for Nstp, its activities require an effective system which provides information on the extent which projects are achieving their objectives. So sinasabi dito na sa bawat proyekto or project para sa Nstp, ang mga activities nito ay nangangailangan ng isang epektibong sistema na nagbibigay ng mahalagang impormasyon kung saan ang mga proyekto ay nakakamit ang kanilang mga layunin or tinatawag na objectives. Evaluation as defined by Tukay is a systematic assessment of the value or worth of something. This something could be the Nstp project or other programs, a technique used in the held work or a situation prevalent in a particular community. To Nstp trainees and trainers, evaluation means the value or myth of his teaching learning activities. So let us proceed to the importance of evaluation. So the first one, it provides trainers or trainees and other people an idea of the activities, progress, and accomplishments and how they fare well in the achievement of goals. The second one, results serve as basis for empowerment in carrying out activities. The third one, it provides an avenue of making program revision and adjustments. The last one, it provides opportunity for the trainees to experience and develop skills in conducting evaluation. So let us proceed on what to evaluate. So the first one, we have effort. In measuring the efforts exerted in the project, the trainees use the input evaluation type which identifies available resources both in human or personal, material resources such as money, educational tools, methods or techniques, and the activities undertaken. The second one is effect. In assessing effect, trainees and the like measure the outcomes of the efforts made. The third one is adequacy. In measuring adequacy, trainees need to look into the effectiveness of the project in terms of the number of clients being served. The fourth one is efficiency. This is done by determining the cost-benefit analysis by the trainers of the trainees and identifying the benefits derived from the program. The last one is process. In evaluating the Nstp project, one should answer the questions on how and why the project worked or did not work. It also responds to the question on how the different project inputs can be utilized to arrive at good outcomes. So the next one is who will conduct evaluation of the Nstp projects. So the number one is trainees themselves. The next one is trainers or facilitators. The third one is Nstp office personnel. And the fourth one, with a given reference, CHAD or TESDA as outside evaluators. The last one is follow-up studies if there are any. The effective management of Nstp projects requires proper documentation, periodic monitoring, and evaluation to ensure right implementation of designs, goals, and objectives.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. By the way, I'm the one of the group 5. Before I proceed to the topic, I will introduce myself. My name is Maimona A. Ayub from BSCD 1A.
How are the Nstp project evaluated? First, identification of the objectives. It must be in behavioral terms. It must include the domain of learning, which serve as basis of assessing their knowledge, skills, and attitudes. The second is examining program activities and implementation procedures. What are the activities identified to meet the objectives? How are these activities undertaken? Did it achieve the objectives of the program? The number 3 is indicators of expected outcome. Are the methods or approaches relevant to the project? Are the materials appropriate for the activity? Are there changes among clients on the following knowledge, attitude, or values, belief, habits, practices? And the last is skills. When do we evaluate? Evaluation must be undertaken before, during, and after the project. Pre-actively evaluation is done before the conduct of the project to provide baseline information on knowledge, skills, attitudes, and other characteristics of the target clients. Specifically, it provides data on the needs, strengths, and weaknesses regarding the project. Sinasabi dito, ang pagsusuri ay dapat isagawa bago ang hakbang at pagkatapos ng proyekto pre-aktibo. Ang pagsusuri ay ginagawa bago ang pagsasagawa ng proyekto upang magbigay ng baseline na impormasyon sa kaalaman, kasanayan, saloobin at iba pang katangian ng target na kliyente. Particular na ito ay nagbibigay ng data sa pangangailangan ng mga kliyente, lakas at kahinahingil sa proyekto. Post-evaluation of activity determines whether project objectives have been attained or are the clients show measurable gain in knowledge, attitudes, and skills. It also ascertains the amount. Ang post-evaluation ng aktibidad ay tumutukoy kung ang mga layunin ng proyekto ay natamo o ang mga kliyente ay nagpapakita ng masusukat na pakinabang sa kaalaman, saloobin at kasanayan. Tinit din nito ang halaga ng pagbabago na naganap sa mga kliyente. What is an alliance? An alliance is an association of people, groups, or nations who agree to cooperate and achieve a shared goal. Ang alyansa ay isang asosasyon ng mga tao, grupo o bansa na sumasang-ayon na magtulungan at makamit ang isang layunin. What is alliance building? Alliance building is the coming together of persons, groups, or nations mutually committing to support each other to achieve a desired goal. When are alliances formed? Alliances are formed when there are needs or objectives that are perceived to be shared, like protection from a common enemy or objectives to attain. Alliances are formed when, aside from having common needs and objectives, mutual trust and respect and a willingness to commit are present. Who are these potential allies? Potential stakeholders may be the local government, units from the barangay to the provincial level, people's organization, non-governmental organizations, academic and research institutions, media, business associations, donor agencies, even armed groups from the government or otherwise. That's all.
Hi, my name is Zubaida Bagundang Kamit from BSCD1. Who are these potential allies? Potential stakeholders may be the local government units from the barangay to the provincial level, people's organization, non-governmental organizations, academic and research institution, media, business associations, donor agencies, even armed groups from the government or otherwise. How to do alliance building? Step in alliance building. Number 1, coming together. Before any alliance take place, one has to have a good understanding about the project. Alliance building is the act of identifying and bringing together the most productive members of a team, which might include individuals, organizations, enterprises, or other groups. People join formal alliances for a variety of reasons. Number 2, building and strengthening. Be supportive. Start by offering your support to others when you can see that they need it. Nurture your allies. One good deed, though, won't be enough to form an alliance. Communicate effectively. Don't ask for too much. Don't take offense.
Hi, my name is Jandal Bayumusa and I will going to continue the discussion of Ms. Jubaida Kamid. Number 3. Strategic planning. This provides the framework for aligned work. It is divided into 5 tasks. Letter A. Formulation of the mission statement. So dito, kinakailangan nakalagay ang lahat ng coverage ng task at dapat ito ay maayos ang pagkalagda ng mga information para mas maintindihan ng mga kasama mo. Letter B. Environmental and capacity assessment. Dapat alam ng isang alliance ang kahinaan at kalakasan ng kanyang naka-collaboration nito. Dahil ito ay isang maingat na pagsusuri o pananaliksik. Letter C. Goal formulation. Ang layunin ng alyansa ay maging isang tiyak na pahayag at magawa ng maayos ang tungkulin nito. Ito ay binubuo ng pamantayan kung saan ang pag-unlad ng alyansa ay masusukat. At ito rin ay kinakailangan ipahayag sa isang simple at madaling maunawaan ang mga nais ipabatid. Letter D. Strategy selection. Upang makamit ang mga layunin, dapat piliin ang naaangkop na diskarte. Ang isang naaangkop na diskarte ay dapat humahantong sa pagsasakatuparan ng layunin. Gayon din dapat itong naayon sa pahayag ng misyon o tungkulin. Letter E. Development of an action plan. Batay sa mga layunin na ginagawa, ang plano o aksyon ay naglilista ng mga akbang na dapat isasagawa. Ang plano ay nararapat na ayusin sa isang matrix para mas madaling sanggunian at mapahusay ito. Number 4. Implementation of the action plan. Ito na ang panahon para ipakita ng magkaalyadong partner ang kanilang pangako o tungkulin bilang alliance. Ang pagpapatupad na ito ay maaaring magsimula sa pamamagitan ng pagsasauna sa ilang particular na aktibidad bago magsagawa ng buong sukat. Magbibigay daan ito sa mga kasosyo na punan ang mga puwang bago gamitin ang buong pagpapatupad. Number 5. Evaluation. Ang yugtong ito ay ang oras upang malaman kung paano ito naka-epekto at kung ano ang kinakailangang diskarte laban sa mga itinakdang pamantayan. Ang mga pagsusuri ay maaari isagawa ng lahat ng stakeholder ng alyansa o maaaring itong isagawa ng mga entity na nasa labas nito. Ang buong proseso ng pagtutulungan ay nagpapailalim sa pagsusuri at pagbabago habang mas maraming mga kaalyado ang idinaragdag habang nabubuksan ang mga bagong kaganapan at habang nakatagda ang mga bagong direksyon. Synthesis. Ang building alliance o ang pagbuo ng interagency collaboration ay isang sistematikong proseso ng pananaliksik. Pagpaplano ng paggawa ng desisyon, pagpapatupad at pagsusuri, pinapataas ng mga alyansa ang dami at kalidad ng mga mapagkukunan, kaalaman sa paghati ng isang mahusay na alyansa at hinihikayat na mas mahusay na gamitin ng mga magagamit na mapagkukunan ng kaalaman ang pagtugon sa mga karaniwang interes at layunin. Yun lang po at maraming salamat.